So, hello guys, I will discuss the topic arterial blood gas analysis in a very simplified and crisp way. Mainly the equations shown on the screen here will be the basis of this whole discussion. Now coming to the few basic points of respiratory acidosis and respiratory alkalosis. In respiratory acidosis, we all know that there would be increased PCO2 concentration and it is compensated by increased HCO3 minus reabsorption by the PCT in kidney. And in respiratory alkalosis, it's just the reverse, that there is decreased PCO2 concentration due to CO2 washout while hyperventilating, and it is compensated by increased HCO3 minus loss from the PCT in kidney. Now, before going to the questions, which is the main topic of this discussion, we should first be knowing three important normal values: pH, which lies between 7.35 to 7.45, PCO2 35 to 45 mm of Hg, and HCO3 22 to 26 milliequivalent per liter. Now, anything less than 7.35 is acidosis, and anything more than 7.45 is alkalosis. Now, when we say the respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis, so the prime focus of our to solve the question should be on the PCO2, because either it will be decreased or increased. And when we say the metabolic component, then the focus should go on the HCO3 minus component, and again it will be either decreased or increased. So coming to the first question, that is pH 7.25, PCO2 60, and HCO3 minus is 26. So as we can see, HCO3 is in the normal range, but pH is less than 7.35, so it is definitely acidosis. Now coming to PCO2, it is increased and it is way more than 45. So it has something to do with the respiratory component. So our primary diagnosis will be respiratory acidosis, which is uncompensated. Now, in respiratory acidosis, the compensation is by HCO3 minus reabsorption from the PCT. That is, the HCO3 minus has to be elevated by the body to compensate the acidotic part. Now, if we say that the HCO3 becomes 28 in the above question with pH of 7.25 and PCO2 of 60, that means the body has started reabsorbing HCO3 minus from the PCT. So we can say that it has partially compensated respiratory acidosis. But when the pH becomes normal and PCO2 is 60 and we are seeing that HCO3 becomes 30 or it is on the elevation side, that means that it is fully compensated respiratory acidosis. So whenever HCO3 becomes high, we can say that the body has started compensating. So we can say it as partially compensated. But when the pH becomes normal and the body has compensated, pH will become normal when the body has compensated. So then we will say it as fully compensated respiratory acidosis. Now the next question, here we are seeing that pH is 7.54, so it is the alkalotic part. Now PCO2 is 25, which is less, and HCO3 minus is in the normal range. So PCO2 is less, that means there is respiratory washout of PCO2. That means we are dealing with respiratory alkalosis, and here it is uncompensated because we are not seeing any change in the values of HCO3 minus. Now to compensate respiratory alkalosis, we have read in the earlier part that the body will excrete HCO3 minus. So the HCO3 minus has to go down. So if I say the HCO3 value is 20, then we can say that it is partially compensated because the body has started compensating for the decreased PCO2 in the respiratory alkalosis. Now the body has started compensating and it is going on compensating, and when the pH again becomes normal, then we can say that it is fully compensated. Now coming to the metabolic acidosis and metabolic alkalosis part. Suppose the pH is 7.23 and HCO3 is 18, that is less than the normal. So we can say that HCO3 is the metabolic part and it is going down because it constitutes the alkalosis part. So we can say the diagnosis is metabolic acidosis because PCO2 is still in the normal range. Now to compensate this, the PCO2 has to go down, that is the person has to hyperventilate and excrete CO2. So if I say the PCO2 value is 33 now, then we can say that it is partially compensated. And if the pH becomes normal and the body is compensating, then we can say that it is fully compensated metabolic acidosis. Again, the next question, pH 7.57, that is alkalosis, PCO2 is 37, that is again normal, and HCO3 is higher. So we can say that it is a part of metabolic alkalosis. Now suppose to compensate this, the body has to elevate the PCO2. For elevating PCO2, there has to be respiratory depression. Now, if PCO2 is elevated and we calculate it as the ideal value is HCO3 minus plus 15. So, if the value has come to HCO3 minus plus 15 and the compensation process is going fine, but if pH is still not normalized, then we have to say it has partially compensated metabolic alkalosis. But once the pH normalizes, we again say it has fully compensated metabolic alkalosis. So I would like to conclude this by saying that in respiratory acidosis, we see the compensation by metabolic alkalosis and vice versa. And when the pathology is respiratory alkalosis, then it is compensated by metabolic acidosis and vice versa. Now coming to the last part, that is the mixed disorders part. Here we can see that the pH is 7.16, so it is definitely acidosis. Now PCO2 is 61.9, it is elevated, and HCO3 minus is 21.2 and it is decreased. If I say that by seeing the PCO2 value that it is respiratory acidosis, then for compensation HCO3 minus has to be reabsorbed, increased, but in this question we are seeing that HCO3 minus is below than normal. That means it is a case of mixed disorder and it is respiratory acidosis plus metabolic acidosis. Similarly, in the next question, pH is 7.58 and PCO2 is 21, HCO3 minus is 32. So pH 7.58, again it is alkalosis. PCO2 is 21, that is it is less than the normal, so we can say that it is respiratory alkalosis. But to compensate it, HCO3 should be coming down, but here HCO3 is going up, that is there is also a metabolic alkalosis component. So in this case again it is both respiratory alkalosis and metabolic alkalosis. Thank you for hearing me out.